Now I'm going to show a little bit of what goes into making hitched horsehair. Start off with the hair, and I've got white horse tail hair here. This is about 28-29 inches long. And before you get started on making your pulls, which is the most time-consuming part of this, you have to take these two here with one bundle, 1 pound. You have to divide your pound in half, just like this. And I don't know if I can get enough light on here in my house. You can't hardly even see, but this was from a palomino, and the hair closer to the body, the top of the tail, was a little bit darker, had more brownish or yellowish colored hairs than the stuff down here that was closer to the end of the tail. The important fact though is that the stuff that's closer to the body is a little bit thicker than the stuff that's on the close to the end of the tail. So you have to divide your hair in half. You make 2 bundles like this. You wrap them up so that they're secure but not so tight that you can't pull them out. And then you have to reverse it, because you're going to take half of the hairs for your pull from one bundle and half from the other bundle. And then you're going to want to put a note up here to make sure that you don't get them twisted around, because if you take them all from one side, the side of the pull that's closer to the body is going to be thicker than the side that's down by the tail, and it's going to booger up what you're trying to make here. So once you've got them divided like this, then you need to take start whichever one, and whether you take 8 or 10 or whatever number of hairs in each pull, it depends on what you're making. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to want, because these are white hairs and these are thinner than dark colored hairs, I'm going to take 11 hairs. And 11 hairs in this pull would be the same thickness as if I took 10 hairs from a black pull. And when you take them out, you need to look at each one, and if it looks a little chalky or a little thicker or a little more coarse than everything else, that hair is more likely to break off when you're working with this. So you want to take that one away and not use it. But you're going to find out it takes a while to make a single pull, and with a headstall, you're looking at a few hundred, several hundred horsehair pulls to make this, and that doesn't count the pulls that you would need for the reins if you're going to make matching reins on it. And price for a hitched horsehair headstall minus the matching reins is $5,000. And when you see how long it takes just to make a single pull, and then when you find out that you need more than 300 or 400 pulls to make a headstall, then it kind of starts to make sense. We're going to take them out one at a time and look at it, but just for this here, I'm going to do it a little bit easier way, and I'm going to take half, and I can't set the camera up so you can see this, but I'll get them out of here as quick as I can. I'm not real quick. Okay, now I've got 6 in this first group. You want to make sure that tops up here are fairly close to each other, because these hairs are all about the same size. We're pretty much close to it, but they're not going to be exact. And then sometimes you might have a hair that's a little bit darker, and these are going to get dyed different poles will be dyed different colors. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's one of those hairs that's not as white as the others, but that just makes it interesting. You need to look up here in the light. If you're diabetic like me, then sometimes by the end of the day it's hard to see anything very clear, but if there's a bad hair, it's got a different feel to it. So I've got 6 hairs from this first bundle. Now I'll take 5 from the second one. A couple of pulls earlier than this, I just made my first knot. When I pulled the knot tight, one of the hairs broke, and then when that happens, then you gotta take it apart. That stage is not that bad, but I've had it where I've twisted and I've been this close to the end, and all of a sudden one broke, and then when it's down that far, and it's pretty much useless. So now I've got, like I said, I've got 11 hairs here, and you need to get these tied. I haven't had a real soft life, and I've got arthritis now on top of diabetes, so if when the diabetes doesn't give me a hard time, then the arthritis seems to. And sometimes making a simple little knot isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. Just make your knot close to the end here. It's just a simple, you call it an overhand knot. Nothing fancy, you just gotta hold the hairs together. And I know that you can see that real good, but it's simple. For a simple-minded person like me, it can't be a complex procedure. I'd never get it done. And before, I think I forgot to mention, but before I got to this point, I also checked to make sure that all these hairs were pretty much the same length. You know, if I had one, if I can find where the camera is here, you can see kind of where the bottom of the hair is. If I had one hair that was only this long, then I'd want to take that out, because you can only make your pull as long as your shortest hair. So now, once you got this done and you're pretty much convinced that all your hairs are in good shape and are all about the same length, then you start twisting it. Usually I just hold on to the knot and I twist with the other end, but I've been eating fry bread all night, so my hands are greasy as hell, and I can barely hold on to this hair, never mind trying to twist without this little knot to hold on to. So I'm going to use the opposite hand. Sometimes you'll do this and, you know, 1 or 2 hairs is going to be just a little bit off when you get your knot tied at the other end, and you just kind of have to smooth it out and work it back and forth a little bit until you get that one hair, those hairs back in place. Let's start a fire and survive it. On a good day, you can go a little bit faster than other times. Fingers start hurting, or if they lock up, then ain't much you can do about that. If I was younger, I don't think I'd have the patience to sit and do this here. Trying to get my kids to help with this, and they're interested in doing certain things with saddles, but when it comes to making horsehair pulls, especially when I told them that I need 400 or 500 for the headstall, and then about that many for the reins too. Actually more, I'm not good with numbers, but it'd be more than 500 for the reins. Then I might get one pull out of each one of them, and then they suddenly get real concerned about homework or something like that. You don't see much hitched horsehair anymore. You see some braided horsehair, and in some cases, in some type of braids, you know, they'll make pulls like this, but the process is nowhere near as difficult or as time consuming. With he already gone more than 11 minutes. Wow. I don't know if this here is going to get cut off on me or not, but as you can see, I'm not even halfway done. I twist this all the way down, then I got to get a knot on the other end, make sure it's okay, and then that's one out of however many hundreds that I need for whatever project, a man's belt, a woman's belt, or the headstall and reins, the hat band, whatever the heck you're making. And they still have to be hitched or woven together after you get all these pulls made and dyed. So if you see this, you can kind of get an idea how come it costs $5 grand for a hitched horsehair headstall, and why not many people do this anymore. Used to see prisoners in certain prisons, like here in Wyoming and up in Montana, 100 years ago. These cowboys sitting in prison would do this. Nowadays, there's just not that many people who know how, and even fewer who want to sit down and do it. So I guess I'll stop this video right now. I just wanted to give you an idea of what hitched horsehair was all about.